Standard, Mort Kondracki, executive editor of Roll Call, Mara Liasson, national political correspondent of National Public Radio, and Bill Kristol, editor of the Weekly Standard. We're getting a little bit of we're getting the introduction to Arnold Schwarzenegger now. Let's listen.
Governor Arnold Schwarzeneggar.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. What a greeting. What a greeting. Wow. This is like winning an Oscar. As if I would know. Speaking of acting, one of my movies was called True Lies. And that's what the Democrats should have called their convention. You know, on the way up here to the podium, a gentleman came up to me and said, "Governor, you are as good a politician as you were an actor." What a cheap shot. Cannot believe it. Anyway, my fellow Americans, this is an amazing moment for me. To think that a once scrawny boy from Austria could grow up to become governor of the state of California and then stand here in Madison Square Garden and speak on behalf of the President of the United States. That is an immigrant's dream. It's the American dream. You know, I was born in Europe, and I've traveled all over the world, and I can tell you that there's no place, no country that is more compassionate, more generous, more accepting, and more welcoming than the United States of America. As long as I live, I will never forget the day 21 years ago when I raised my right hand and I took the oath of citizenship. You know how proud I was? I was so proud that I walked around with the American flag around my shoulder all day long. Tonight, I want to talk to you about why I am even more proud to be an American, why I am proud to be a Republican, and why I believe that this country is in good hands. When I was a boy, the Soviets occupied part of Austria. I saw their tanks in the streets. I saw communism with my own eyes. I remember the fear we had when we had to cross into the Soviet sector. Growing up, we were told, don't look the soldiers in the eye, just look straight ahead. It was common belief that the Soviet soldiers could take a man out of his own car and ship him back to the Soviet Union as slave labor. Now, my family didn't have a car, but one day we were in my uncle's car. It was near dark as we came to the Soviet checkpoint. I was a little boy. I was not an action hero back then. But I remember how scared I was that the soldiers would pull my father or my uncle out of the car and I would never see them again. My family and so many others lived in fear of the Soviet boot. Today, the world no longer fears the Soviet Union, and it is because of the United States of America. As a kid, I saw the socialist country that Austria became after the Soviets left. Now, don't misunderstand me. I love Austria, and I love the Austrian people. But I always knew that America was the place for me. In school, when the teacher would talk about America, I would daydream about coming here. I would daydream about living here. I would sit there and watch for hours American movies, transfixed by my heroes like John Wayne. Everything about America seemed so big to me, so open, so possible. I finally arrived here in 1968. What a special day it was.